So recently I've had itchy feet and I work a 9 to 5 during the day. I sit in an office all day and it's very, very uninspiring. So this week I was determined to get out with my camera every day, whether it's before work or after work. Today I came out for the sunset. It was very, very cloudy today and the clouds started to clear after work, so I rushed out with my gear and I've been running around like a lunatic trying to find a good composition. So the sun is actually setting behind me right now. It's kind of dipping in and out between the clouds, and so I'm not shooting directly into the light. So the composition I have chosen, I've got these flowers and this grass in the foreground, and then in the background, or the middle of the image, is a farmer's field, and then in the background I've got one side of my local mountain. Now we've got some very dramatic clouds above the mountain, which is very, very cool. We get the occasional bit of light and colour filtering through there as the sun moves. The only issue with this composition is that it's incredibly windy. So the flowers and grass in the foreground are just being battered around by the wind. And so I have to decide here if I don't mind them being unfocused and blurry in the foreground, which would then draw attention to the background of the image, or do I want to attempt to focus stack and get them kind of in focus as much as I can. In the end, I decided to make it simple for myself, focusing at infinity enabled sharpness from front to back, apart from the bits of grass in my hyperfocal distance, the ones closest to the camera. I liked the range of unfocused and semi-sharp foreground as it captured the movement of the wind. The clouds are pretty much taking over now. The sun has gone, it's concealed by what clouds are there. There's no more light coming through, there's not a huge amount of colour. And I think that's as much light as we're going to get on the mountain, so that's done, I guess. It all happened very, very quickly, especially with a sky like this, where it's so cloudy and it's very unpredictable how much sunlight you're going to get. It just happens just like that. I can't click, my fingers are cold. So I'm actually really drawn to this little section of the field that's covered in water. There's a lot of blue tones going on from the sky that's reflecting onto the surface, and I kind of like it. So I'm going to get a blue hour shot, I think, out of curiosity. I wasn't shooting at a long exposure as I wanted to capture the sky's texture, the break in the clouds, and because it was so windy. Even so, I found myself with camera shake at 1/5 of a second due to my rather large camera strap. So when you're doing a long exposure, especially when it's very windy, you want to limit the amount of camera shake and vibrations you get, because that can really just mess with the focus and sharpness of your image. So a camera strap moving in the wind can shake your camera, can shake your lens. This portion of your tripod up, this isn't as sturdy and stable as these legs. Touching your camera as you take it, your hand, you can very easily shake the camera, which I'm going to grab my shutter release so I don't do that from my bag, which I left over here. Popping your camera on a 2-second timer, or about 2 seconds, is also a good idea. So there's a delay between when you release the shutter and the picture actually takes, to avoid knocking into anything. Always checking your focusing before and after you take the pictures. So there's a lot of factors to take into account when doing long exposures, and really you just got to take your time and get it right. So this was just a very quick and maybe rushed video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think about these pictures that I shot today in the comments down below. Best medicine is nature.